Come on, Livingston, we're gonna go on and on and on. Together we can make it. We're gonna go on and on and on. Come on, Livingston.
Knocks it through. Mullen bursting into the box. Josh Mullen.
Together we can make it.
Mullen's ball across. It's turned in. It's Pittman who's got it. Livingston leads.
Road is long.
Can they get the ball back in? O'Brien.
The lead. And Livingston have the lead.
Man, score.
If we march together.
The full-time whistle blows and David Hayes celebrates. And the Livingston fans join in exultation.
Come on, Livingston.
Livingston have the lead against Rangers, and they are certainly rising to a few occasions on their return to the top flight in Scotland.
Come on, Livingston. We're gonna go.
Hello and welcome back to TalkLivi, our first episode of 2020 after a short break, so it's a happy new year from us all. We're back as usual with more Livi related content, including post-match interviews plus loads of reaction and special features from the usual lads. My name's Andy and I'm joined by Ewan and Callum to discuss what's been another busy week for the club. How's it going, boys?
All good. Enjoyed the wee break, so all good.
I'm doing superb, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. It was good to get that wee
That
short
sounded
break.
so.
Sounded so insincere there, didn't it? Thanks, Brynny. Yeah, I'm doing great, thank you.
I'm glad.
What's coming up this week then?
So it was Scottish Cup weekend to start 2020. We hear from Gary Holt and Stevie Lawless as they give us post-match reaction following the Raith game.
We will then review that game with Raith Rovers. Thankfully, they aren't dancing in the streets of Raith this time as we set them packing. So we will have a look back at that game too.
We take a look at the transfer window so far, discussing how we are faring up with new signings, transfer rumours and our hopes for the remainder of the window.
It's the return of our feature What Does Your Fox In for the year, our take on the TV show Room 101, find out what does our Fox in this week.
We've got two games to look ahead to this week. First of all, we preview the home game with St Johnstone at the Tony Macaroni Arena on Wednesday.
And finally we preview our trip to Lanarkshire as we face Hamilton at the weekend. Listen out for all the stats and as usual we give our predictions.
So first up, let's hear the thoughts of Gary Holt.
Aye, but I think on overall, even first half balance of play, I think the result was merited. I think the chances, I think we conceded one shot, it was a goal, and it's something we'll have to have a look at to see because it's a set play and it's a second phase. So, but I thought if you come in at 0-0, you'd say keep doing what we're doing, keep getting it wide, keep getting balls in the box. We've hit the post with a couple of clear, the keeper's made a save, and just raise the tempo a little bit because it's tough when a team comes in 5-4-1 and makes it difficult, and then you give a goal away. It's even harder. So, but no, credit to them. We were bold with substitutions because we felt we had to get a wee bit more attacking play on the pitch, and eventually we got the goals, and I think the results merited. But you've got to give John and his players a lot of credit. I like the way they're trying to do things. I like how they're trying to play football and how they're well structured. But overall, I think our balance of play and chances that we had, we deserved the win. I think it was a stone waller. When you see it, it's one of those. It's clearly hits his arm, and but no, I think sometimes you need that wee bit of luck. We said because obviously when they get the goal, they don't have to come out even more. So it's going to be hard. It's maybe a cut back or it's maybe a shot from distance. It's going to take someone to be brave and to risk it. And I think we were in the second half. I think we risked it a bit more. We moved it a bit quicker, and as you said, I was quite happy when he certainly blew for the penalty. And that's something that we work on. We work on regains and try to win the ball back and make pressure on players and teams to make it uncomfortable for them. But it was pleasing to that, and to be fair, I think Big Lyndon's finish was tremendous. I was shouting to take it in a wee bit, but he's certainly he's better in front of goal than I ever was, so I'll quite happily take that. No, because I said to the players at half time, as I said, if you come in at 0-0 and some of the goals no great, we'll have to look at it, but we were doing a lot of good things. We got one off the post, another set play, second phase put it wide, the keeper's made a couple of saves, and you're just thinking it'll come, but we've gave the goal away, so we need to raise the tempo. But you've got 45 minutes to get back in the game. It's not gung-ho, it's not opening up too much that Raith will hit you in the counter, so be patient. If it takes to the 92nd minute, it takes to the 92nd minute. You've no divine right to win the game. You have to work at it. You have to put in structure in place, the attacking phases to win the game, and I thought we'd done that as the game went on. We switched it quicker, we got at them quicker, and like I said, I thought the three subs that came on gave us an impact in the game, and that's what you want.
Two new signings playing today, obviously Kieran Brown and Ryan Schofield. What are your thoughts on their performances?
I thought they were good. Probably the first 90 minutes I've had for a long time, and you could see that with Kieran as he tired towards the end, but no, they're good players, and it's good for Ryan. He disappointed with the goal, because apart from that he's not had nothing to do, which is good for the players in front of him, but he probably say he wants to be more involved, but I'm quite happy for our keeper not to be. But no, I thought he talked really well. You could hear him throughout the game, marshalling his defence, which was good for a guy who's young in years. And Kieran, we know what we get with Kieran. He rolls his sleeves out, he goes on the pitch, and you know what you get from him. I was really impressed with him, and it'll come now. We just need to work in the same trigger points that we do as a team, just to refine what he knew from last year.
Will he be playing centre half? Lammy was obviously at left back today. He's been playing centre half more.
It depends on how you're playing and on injuries and form. Simple as that. It's systems and positions are only there when you've not got the ball. It's when you've got the ball that you can go and play and express yourself. So if you're picked to do a job, go and do a job for the team. That's what it is. That's what it's about. So as I said to him, if you've got the jersey and you're on the starting 11, keep it. It's only you who can give it away, unless it's an injury or a suspension. So if you're playing well and you're doing your job to the best of your ability, you've got a good chance of staying in the team. If you're not, then don't turn around and look at me.
Now here's what Stevie Lawless thought of the afternoon's work.
Yeah, we had a lot of the ball. All credit to Raith. I thought they were pretty good today. They came with a game plan. They took their chance, and that always makes it difficult, especially with the shape that we were playing. It was hard to break them down, and we just needed that little bit of luck, and we managed to get it, and just happy to be in the next round. Yeah, I think that comes down to their goal, getting a goal. Kind of helps them. Not saying they were sitting in, because I thought they were really good in the ball. They played some good stuff, but it puts a lot of pressure on us to try and break them down and give them something to hang on to. But we managed to get the breakthrough, and I think they were pretty unlucky today, they'll feel. But from our point of view, I think it's a pen, and as I said, we're just happy to be in the next round. Yeah, it's a big penalty that changed the game. Obviously we get the goal quite quick after that, so it's obviously not a hard chance, but there's added pressure on it because we're behind in the game. But I put it away, and we managed to get a quick goal after that, and as I said, it changed the game.
You're scoring more goals this season and sort of getting more assists. Do you think that's down to playing further forward, or would you put it down to something else?
Yeah, 100%. Last year I kind of played out of position. I was happy to do so for the team. The shape we played didn't really allow wingers, so I was happy to play there. It affected my numbers and that, but I feel if I play on the right for a full season, as I have been doing, I would chip in with a fair amount of goals and assists, because it's the most natural position to me, right wing. So if we keep continuing to play that shape, then I feel confident getting more goals and more assists. Possibly. We felt fit enough. We felt that we shouldn't, but we didn't start the game really well. We allowed them to get their shape onto us, and we managed to come into it. I think we had majority of the ball without breaking them down. We had a couple of chances the first half that we could have done better with. We hit the post, and in the second half I could feel us getting frustrated, if I'm being honest. They were just sitting in, and we weren't really threatening them at all. It was more in front of them. I felt we could have went longer a little bit more, but we managed to get the breakthrough, and that's all that matters in a cup game. It doesn't really matter about performance, it's just getting out of the next round. Yeah, it's just I think anybody at home would fancy our chances against. We've already had a couple of upsets this year here, but as you said, it's a cup game, anybody can get through, so we'll be hoping for a favourable draw in the next round, but we'll take anybody at home.
There's been a wee bit of speculation on your future, obviously your contract up in 6 months. Are you just concentrating on your football at the minute, or has there been any talks there?
There has been slight talks, but if I'm being honest, it's going that well that we're just going to try and see where it goes. But listen, I'm happy here, and it's a great club to be part of, and this is the best season I've had in the Prem, for being honest. So we'll just see what happens. But there has been initial talks here, but we'll see how it goes. Everything's going smoothly now, so long may that continue.
So boys, what were your thoughts on the game?
I actually thought we played okay. Wasn't obviously our best performance. First half was a bit frustrating. We obviously go in 1-0 down, which is really against the run of play. Raith have had one shot and one goal. It's actually a very good goal from John Baird, actually, but
poor from our point of view though.
It is poor.
2 opportunities.
We switched off. We did switch off. But I thought first half we created, obviously we dominated the ball, but without doing too much. Would you say they were clear-cut chances?
To be honest,
I would say they were. Dykes
the
went
one
off post, the one where Dykes has got on the turn, the one that Pitts has been played through by Lawless, Suda on the turn, set piece. They're 4 good chances which we should have done a lot better.
I thought the Pitts one was the hardest out the lot, to be honest. I know he's kind of been fed in, but the ball's, it's not been the best ball to him.
It's not the best.
He's had to take a touch.
Block as well. It's difficult though when you play a team, as Gary Holt touched on, they set up 5-4-1. They basically got 9-10 men behind the ball.
Classic McGlynn,
but did they play sort of at our own game then? We like to sort of sit in and hit on the break in the Premier League.
I thought it was
Premiership. Sorry, before you have a go at me.
Well, you're the one that would have a go at yourself.
But it was a frustrating afternoon. I just felt we were a bit slow with the ball. We didn't commit our players, their direct opponents enough. We made it really easy for Raith Rovers to get into a comfortable shape. And actually, to be honest with you,
they looked really good on the counter-attack.
We've got to give some credit to Raith. I thought they passed it. When they did get the ball, they passed it really nicely and passed it around us. And
you can see why they're doing well in League One,
top
on the
of the
seaside.
Yeah, to be honest, for the what was it, 76 minutes when we scored the penalty, something like that. For that period of time, especially the second half, I didn't see where the goal was coming from. Yeah, we created chances in the first half.
Yes,
but the second half, we looked null ideas. We looked like we'd not lost the plot, but as Stevie said, got frustrated, and we didn't really open them up.
It was generally a bit of luck that we needed.
Yeah. If we didn't get the penalty, I think we lose the game 1-0.
The fact that they scored first made that game complicated for us, right? Because I always think when the onus is on us to try and break teams down, I think that's when we struggle a bit more.
We had the favourites tag, didn't we?
Yeah,
we
don't usually have that tag when we play in the league, right? Pretty much every week we're the underdogs, so I think that's what made the tie more difficult, was them going a goal up, as you say, against the run of play. I don't think we played particularly well. I think, as you kind of touched on, it was a lot of square balls, but there was really no space in between the lines.
They're all camped on the box.
There was the odd moment where Suda just took a couple of players on, or played a quick 1-2, and we opened them up. So you just needed. I was screaming out for maybe bringing Lawson into the middle of the park, because he's willing to kind of take a couple of players on and carry the ball. We needed to do something different. The player that made the obvious impact was Robbo.
Yeah, Robbo
when he came on,
changed the game.
He basically changed the game by being an absolute pest.
Yeah. I don't know what their defenders doing for the penalty.
It's a Stonewall penalty, man.
I was just going to come to that. What was our thoughts on the penalty?
I haven't seen it.
McGlynn wasn't happy at all.
McGlynn was very salty. If you've not heard his interview, you can go into the Raith Rovers Twitter.
I spoke to him in press, and he was saying things like, obviously I gave them huge credit because I thought they were very good, and on another day they might have won that 1-0. He was saying they were looking at who they were going to get in the next round and things like that already.
Good call, John. Well done.
Shouldn't have thought too soon.
But he's already had a ban this season for I think he had to go to a referee, so he kind of kept it quiet a wee bit. He didn't want to get quoted on things, but you could tell he wasn't happy with the penalty decision.
Penalty Stonewall for me. The handball rules obviously changed, and for me anyway, regardless of the change in the handball rule, he's actually touched the ball with his arm, but his arm's out from his body, and then he's went and cleared the ball as a result. So that touch has given him an advantage.
I think he panics and he thinks that Robbo's closer to him than he is, and he kind of flicks it away.
Did you think that, because my initial reaction was Robbo has won the penalty more than anything, because it looked for a minute like the referee wasn't going to give it, and Robbo was absolutely hounding him for that 20 seconds after the incident.
I always think player reactions speak a lot, and the fact that Robbo was so incensed by it made me think there was something in it.
McGlynn touched on that as well. He said the players have basically not conned the referee into it, because it is a penalty, but he's saying that
coaxed him into that decision, sort of
because
thing.
he took a while to give it.
Yeah, he did, because I initially thought he's not giving it here, he's not, and I kept going, Robbo, go and get the ball, because he just completely forgot about the ball and turned round to the referee and started sort of shouting and appealing at the referee.
You wait all season for a penalty at home and then
two come along at once, but the second one there's no debate at all. It's just, in fact, it wasn't, not at the time, but after it and watching the highlights, I was
There's actually a couple yesterday,
not a red card? I was like,
we're saying that we were just watching a bit of sports scene before, and there was a similar one in the Partick Thistle game with Frimpong.
Yeah, that's an odd one.
You know, I don't think that was a penalty, but if you've given the penalty, it's a red card with it as well. He's got an open goal. Absolutely. He's got a tap in.
No, it wasn't until I watched the highlights, because I never clicked at the time yesterday, because I was still sort of like, oh well, we've got the penalty.
Well, you were more celebrating the fact you had the opportunity to get 3 points on your prediction.
I called the prediction.
And might I add, his celebrations were quite frankly embarrassing, to be honest.
Don't be ashamed. Bruni, you wouldn't know, you were sitting with the press guys yesterday, because you're too good for us yesterday.
Well, that's not very nice, Andrew.
Covering the, I heard you got a few questions in there as well.
I did, yeah.
I like the one we asking about Stevie.
Well, no,
I'm not having a go, but a lot of the fans will be interested to hear that.
I'm a fan myself, and that's something I would like to know. So hopefully people appreciate that.
Definitely.
Back to the actual game though, rather than Bruni's free time.
His moment of fame.
Which Andrew brought up, by the way.
Obviously, we got the equaliser, and instantly I said to you, Andy, watching the game, look how Raith have all of a sudden came out again.
Yeah.
Right? But see, after spending 50 odd minutes, 55 minutes sitting camped to then open yourselves up, and that's how the second goal comes about, because all of a sudden there's so much space in behind. Robbo's just got one part, he wins the ball, and it's such an easy through ball for Dykes.
How easy is the keeper made it though?
I mean,
he's literally sat down with his arms folded.
It's a good finish, but
he's waited till he goes though.
But the keeper he's hit the deck really early, and all Dykes has to do is just just lift the ball and he's put it in.
It's a great finish.
He's taken it well.
It's Dave Mackay at the back, who's he dithers on the ball really. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe they're thinking, okay, we've conceded now, we need to go again, things like that.
Yeah.
And they've just they've looked to play it, but we've come out, credit to us, and we've absolutely hounded them.
I think once we got the first goal, I think there was only, if there was going to be a team that won it on the day, it was going to be us.
Because the game would open up.
Yeah, we've kept the ball really well, we've moved them to, and like Gary said, we've moved them to side, and eventually that's going to tell.
They just totally knocked the stuffing out of them.
Yeah, and as soon as we went ahead, the game was over. You just couldn't see them getting back in it at that point.
Especially the changes they'd made.
The third, I mean, credit as well. We were screaming out for changes and going more attacking. I don't think we could go more attacking than what we did.
Stevie Lawless left back,
Robinson,
Erskine,
these guys on, and it really made a difference. So.
And then it's a good change as well when we go 2-1 up. We're playing attacking. Lawless was playing left back. We've brought Lawless out to the left wing, and Suda's come off for McMillan.
Yeah, exactly.
Swaps in there.
But obviously, cup football's about winning and getting through.
Performances are.
We've done that.
I don't know why. I thought I was quietly confident throughout the game. I always thought we'd come back into it, even in the second half. I thought we didn't.
For me, I think had we not got that penalty, I think it would have finished 1-0.
Yeah,
I think we were really struggling to break them down.
I don't know why. I just had that feeling.
As I say, as soon as we scored, I thought, "Oh, game on." I think we'll start to open them up a bit more, because they'll need to come out of their shell a bit.
Yeah. So obviously we are through now, and we're into the draw. We're recording this before the draw's made later this afternoon, but I think 10 of the 11 teams that played yesterday in the Premiership all got through. Only Ross County failed, and obviously Hibs are playing Dundee United today, so that could be 11 out of 12 Premiership sides through.
11 out of 16 as well.
So that would then include United who qualified, Arbroath or Falkirk
Clyde,
BSC,
Glasgow.
So that's the other 4 then, isn't
Inverness.
it? And Inverness. So who do we want in the draw? I think there's one obvious one that stands out.
Celtic at Celtic Park. I think it's probably the easiest tie you'll get.
Here comes the money. No, I'd like BSC Glasgow. I mean,
someone different.
Stevie Lawless touched on it. Obviously, other than Celtic and Rangers, we'd take pretty much anyone at home.
I was saying that before we started recording, and looking at the teams that if we got a home tie out with Rangers and Celtic, you would fancy your chances against anybody.
Quarter final.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've had a really poor record in the cup. I think this is the first time we've been past the 4th round for about 10
certainly
years.
The Scottish Cup, we have a pretty decent League Cup record, but our Scottish Cup record's been woeful.
Horrific.
Last few years.
Last decent one was it was a semi-final in 2006.
That's right, that's right. I mean, so we're kind of hoping for a decent draw to progress. It was the same year as the cup. Winning the cup. Yeah, that's right. So we're kind of hoping for a good draw, aren't we? Get to the latter stages. That'd be cracking financially as well.
We beat Celtic at Celtic Park, then we stopped them doing a
Gary Holt maybe not stop 10 in a row, but he might stop the four trebles in a row. We'll see, hopefully. Good win in the end. Cup football, that's what it's about, and we progress to the next round.
The January transfer window is a time when rumours are flying about left, right and centre. But what have we made of the business that we've done so far? The business we could potentially do and the rumours that have been going around. So we'll start with the comings and goings. First up, Matija Sarkic returning to Aston Villa. That was quite a disappointing one early in the window.
Yeah, I'm gutted about that. But what makes it more bloody frustrating is the fact that a week later they go and sign Pepe Reina on loan for 6 months.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
It's a kick in the stones for us, but it's got to be a kick in the stones for Matty as well.
Yeah.
Because
you've got to imagine he must be going out somewhere else in England.
You would imagine so, but then what's the point? He was settled at a club, playing he'd got into the team, playing every week,
at a good
doing
level,
well,
international call-up.
Doing well for us.
But instead he's going back to Villa. Unless he gets loaned out again, he's going back to play under 23s. And I mean, I spoke to him earlier in the season and he was saying the massive difference for his development playing first team football,
actual men's football,
even when he was kind of in the lower leagues in England and stuff like that, was much more of an education from them playing 23s. And I just feel sorry for the lad.
Yeah, it was disappointing for both parties, there's no doubt about it. I think, as you say, we'd been doing it, we'd got into a stage where we had a settled goalkeeper in between the posts. The back line was starting to take shape for us, and it was starting to show the results on the park. We were starting to pick up clean sheets.
Ewan obviously mentioned earlier in the season about not having that settled back line.
Exactly.
And we
were for a run of games sitting with the same back four and
four clean sheets in the last 4 home games before Saturday.
I think we've seen the difference in him even just in that short period of time, the progression from when he first came into the team to that sort of last few games where he'd become more vocal, his confidence had improved, his shot stopping was never in question, it was always pretty good right the way through, but even his command into the box, that was a sort of question mark at the beginning, but I was more and more comfortable with it.
But that's always something with young goalies is the command of their area, and that comes with experience and games, which he was getting games
in their 30s as well.
Talking to obviously goalkeepers, we moved pretty quickly to replace Matty with Ryan Schofield for Huddersfield on loan.
It's not a foreign name, right?
I know it's not.
Schofield.
I never said it like that.
I'm related to Philip.
But pretty highly rated down south, and he obviously came in against Raith Rovers and didn't do much wrong.
Should he won the Toulon tournament with the 20s?
Yeah, he did save penalties in the final, I think, as well, in the shootout. So I think he's a very similar signing to Matty. We probably don't know an awful lot about him, but he comes with kind of a good pedigree at age group level international football. As you mentioned, winning the Toulon tournament's very good. I know he spent the second half of last season at Notts County, so he has had a bit of first team experience down south. So, and reading what Huddersfield fans have said, he's played a couple of games in their first team this year, and he's been pretty decent. So, hopefully he kind of carries on where Matty left off.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I read a few when we signed the boy. Knew very little about him, but I read a few of the Huddersfield fans' comments saying that they were disappointed to let him go. He should be in their first team. The only thing that kind of lets him down is he commanded the area, but again, like you say, that's a general thing for a young goalkeeper, or something that they all need to work on. He done very little wrong against Raith Rovers. He had very little to do. Let's be fair. So it's hard to judge him on that. The bigger tests are yet to come, but a fairly decent signing.
I'm really pleased with how quickly we acted.
Yeah.
Obviously, we lost Sarkic, and that was a blow, but I think it was probably less than a week, and we've already got a new guy on loan.
I mean, it was. I was going to say we flew out to La Manga, and he was already over there. So probably less than a week would kind of got that position sorted. What's their opinions then? Obviously, on Stuart, because
it's maybe a wee bit harsh.
What I reckon will happen, I think Stuart will be in goals for Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Personally, I think what Matty got when he first came in was cup games. He played a couple of the group games, then he played at Forfar, then he played against Rangers in the quarter final, and then I think it was Stuart made a couple of mistakes at Hamilton, and then Matty got his chance in goals, I think, against Celtic, and then carried on from there. But I think Stuart was already at the club. He's our goalkeeper, so I think he'll be between the sticks for the league game. I think it was an obvious one to give Schofield the cup game, to give him minutes and see how he did in a competitive fixture. Yeah,
not a bad shout. And then that first signing was quickly followed by our second signing, a familiar face back in West Lothian, Kieran Brown. Kieran Brown.
Oh dear God.
Kieran Brown on loan for Cardiff. So obviously you'd mentioned him quite earlier in this sort of year about a potential bringing him back.
Well, from what I was reading, Gary was saying he was trying to get him in the summer, so it's obviously one we've had in the pipeline for a wee while, but for whatever reason didn't materialise then.
I think Cardiff are probably looking to give him a chance.
And he's only played one first team game there, but I mean,
his debut this season,
since he was with us, he's been capped for Northern Ireland, which is no mean feat. They've been doing really well of late. And for me, I think he was really steady. I know he only played 6 games. He wasn't. The thing was, we had 3 really good centre halves that had been paired together for a couple of seasons, right? So anyone new coming in, most fans he's not as good. But I think he was really steady. He also played out of position. Bear that in mind. He played as a wing back or a left back when he was in the side. So I think it's a shrewd bit of business because the management know him. They know what to expect from him. So I think it's better having someone like that than taking a gamble on someone you've never really seen.
Callum, you obviously mentioned that you think Cardiff are looking to give him a chance. He's out of contract in the summer. Do you see that as a potential signing for us in the summer?
Yeah. I
think it is.
I thought maybe initially you'd have thought they were trying to give him a chance, which is maybe why he moved didn't materialise in the summer. It's not really worked out for him there, unfortunately. But I mean, I'd probably take him permanently because he's still young. Was he just turned
20-year-old?
Just turned 22, I think.
Is he 22? Sorry, right.
He's I think it was his birthday last week.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so still a lot
still young
potential there, and you don't get to a club like Cardiff City and play for Northern Ireland if you've not got a bit about you.
It was no nonsense defender.
It was hard for him, obviously, coming into that game against Raith Rovers. First game, it was slightly different sort of back line to what it was when he played there. Obviously with Halkett, Gallagher, Lithgow, none of the 3 of them played in the game, so it was sort of different to him. But I thought he stepped in and done okay, didn't do much wrong. And
bear in mind how many minutes has he had?
Exactly,
as well.
He's just come in and played 90 minutes. Same with Schofield.
Yeah.
So 2 signings made, 1 departure. Let's move on to a kind of few potential signings. One that's been documented, and I know Gary's kind of mentioned it as well, is Alan Forrest, player I'd really highly rate at Ayr United. But I think if we're doing a deal for him, it sounds like it might be along the lines of what we did with Dykes last year, which is a kind of nominal fee and sending him back there for the second half of the season to almost secure his services.
Yeah, I think it's one we've spoke about in quite a lot of episodes. Alan Forrest, one that excites me if we can get it done.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously there's some other clubs that are interested in him, so it's not a sort of done thing. Dundee United, Dundee, both bigger clubs, both will be able to offer more money, but there's an option there that he knows that he's going to come to the club like Robbie Crawford, Nicky Devlin, play games. If he does well, there's a chance to move on again to bigger things than us.
Yeah, I know Dundee and Partick are two of the clubs he's been linked with, but chances are they're going to be playing Championship football next year. Yes, Dundee in particular might be able to offer more money, but we could give them the chance to play regular games in the top flight. And you look at Dykes has come in, played regular games in the top flight, and everyone's been linked with Dykes. So he's a good example of what could happen. So I think, obviously I'm biased, but I think we'd be a good move for him.
Yeah, no, can't disagree with that. I was wanting to get, I mentioned last season in January, the likes of Declan McDade and Aaron Doran as well. I thought we probably needed a winger.
Yeah.
And I mean, Alan Forrest is probably in that exact same position as they were last season. He really excites me as a potential signing. Yeah,
the other one that we spoke about, because I think that we're not putting all our eggs in one basket, but it looks like a winger is what we're trying to sign.
Yeah.
Glenn Middleton was linked as well. Now, I know that's probably off now. He got an injury in training. It looks like he's going for an operation now, and I know that there's a lot of clubs looking at him. Ross County, St Mirren. That would have been a decent signing as well if that came about, wouldn't it? As a sort of short term before getting Forrest.
Again, it's along the same lines as you say, a kind of winger. He broke into the Rangers team last season and was very good, but because Rangers signed 4,000 wingers in the summer, he's been pushed down the pecking order ever so slightly. So, he's a player that would be of interest, but I think that deal's basically dead in the water anyway.
So for everybody. Yeah. For everybody. And then finally, so we'll look at players who've went out on loan again. Obviously, Rafa came back for Partick, but immediately got sent out to Falkirk. Good move for Rafa, that?
I think for Falkirk it's a brilliant move. I think Rafa League One level will be a tremendous bit of business. I know one of my close friends is a Falkirk fan. I don't like to associate with Falkirk fans, but I've known him a long time. But he was speaking to him about it, and he was saying they lack a lot of creativity in the middle of the park, and I think Rafa will provide that for them. He's obviously very experienced and has quite recently played at that level as well, so it'll be good for Rafa to get regular minutes. Obviously long term injury that he had, which is quite difficult to come back from, but good luck to him out there. And he's working with Lee Miller as well, isn't he? So
Callum, I mean, what do you think went wrong for him at Partick then? I know you spoke to a few Partick Thistle fans in the past. What do you think went wrong with his move to Partick Thistle?
You could potentially argue the new manager coming in. Maybe he's not fit Ian McCall's style of play. I know he scored I think 1 or 2 goals there. I remember watching a TV game where he scored away at Morton. Seemed to be going well for him then, but I don't know, for one reason or another it's not worked out. But I think it's a good move actually going to Falkirk, because he probably will get minutes there. They've got a really good squad, and it'll help him being in a winning side. Partick are probably, they're coming up now. They've invested in January, but obviously Rafa wasn't part of those plans. But I think going to a club like Falkirk up the top of the league could only be good for him.
Yeah. And then just one final one, we can't move on for this part without talking about strikers. Everybody's gone on about strikers, despite our decent run of form with scoring goals.
4th highest scorers in the league, but we need a striker.
I heard rumours that Queen of the South were looking to bring in a striker from St Mirren on loan, which you would then think that would possibly bring Jack Hamilton back to Livingston, which would then act as cover. And we have spoke about Jack Hamilton coming back and acting as cover, because let's be honest, Lyndon Dykes, if he's fit, he plays, so we only need someone to come back as that cover, don't we?
I mean, at the start of the season we had Miller, right? So Miller was the backup for Dykes. When you only play one up front, you don't need 3 or 4 strikers, because then you just get unhappy players, right? And a waste of resources from our point of view as well. I think Hamilton, he's young. I think whenever he came into the side last season, I don't think he done himself any harm. Especially there was games away at St Mirren he scored. I remember the game just before Christmas against Motherwell at home. He
did
came
well
in
Dundee and was unfortunate to be sent off.
And I thought he was terrific in both games. He done a bit like what Dykes does. He kind of bullied his centre half. He was willing to run in behind, willing to kind of play the physical game as well.
Still well in his loan spells as well.
Yeah, and I think he's quite like for Dykes, which is something when Dykes has been out the side, Robbo tends to be the go-to to go up top. As much as I love Robbo, I think you need to tweak your game a bit more when he plays up top. The obvious difference being, the height difference.
I think he's probably better than anything we could maybe get in January.
Well, January's like we've mentioned, it's a notoriously difficult month to bring in good players, and
we've got Hardy and Miller with the exception.
That exception. I just don't see the point in spending money in January when we can wait to the summer, because we're doing reasonably well. We play one up front. Lyndon Dykes is going to be that one up front. And we're scoring goals just now. Lawless is chipping in. Dykes is playing out his skin, chipping in.
As well with signing a striker, you've got Jack Hamilton. The club have had a bit of bad press recently, maybe in the distant past. About the youth system. But I mean, we could be giving this guy a chance. Jack Hamilton coming through the academy.
Yeah,
I'd rather have him in the side or in and around the first team than bringing in another striker.
For me, it's a bit like the Brown deal. It's better having someone rather than gambling on someone coming in and gelling with the squad,
which could fail because in January you're generally getting players that other clubs didn't want.
Yeah.
And how successful is that going to be? It's not often successful, as you say. There is exceptions to that sometimes.
You've got a young, hungry player in the wings there.
Yeah.
Ready to.
Yeah.
For first team action, you may as well give him a chance.
Yeah. So that's it. I think we've went through kind of all the business we've done so far in the first sort of few weeks of the January window. There's still a couple of weeks to go, so there might be more business done between now and then. And obviously, if there is, we'll chat about it in later episodes. It's the first edition of What Does Your Fox In for the New Year. This has been pretty fun to do so far. Just before we took a break for the winter break, Callum resoundingly came on top with his crowd wanking example. Not actually crowd wanking, but everybody knows what we mean.
Yeah. I hope so.
I think we came to the conclusion quite early on that he was going to win that one, didn't we?
Yeah, disappointing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Swings and roundabouts.
For the first time this year, we ask in the name of one of our most Marmite players of all time, Liam Fox. Ewan, you've prepared an opening statement for this.
What a sad one.
What does your fox in?
Look, there is a disease that has riddled football for far too long, and we need to take action as a football community to rid the world of half and half scarves. Right? Who the hell wants a half and half scarf? It should honestly be punishable by law, right? It's getting worse now because folk are bringing out half and half strips. I saw a half Tottenham, half Liverpool strip. Pick a fucking team. Just pick a fucking team, right?
Are we talking about strips here or scarves?
We're going to scarves, but this is how the disease is spreading. This is how the disease is spreading, right? This is what I mean. It's a disease and it's spreading. It's spreading and it is. It's a plague, right? I go to Scotland games. I didn't want a half scarf with Kazakhstan, right?
Yeah, but
nobody does.
Surely that's a decent memento.
I'm sure I've got a Scotland half and half scarf. Obviously not now.
You should be in jail.
But when I was 5 or 6, we were playing the likes of.
I don't care
Italy,
if you're 5
France.
or 6. You should be rotting in jail.
That's a good. That's up in my room. That's a good memento for me.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
That's why you're single, mate.
I would agree with club half and half scarves. That is just wrong. But international football, I think it's a decent idea. It's showing sort of a friendship there between the teams you've played. And
absolutely not. Football is war. Right? Football is war. Okay? Right? There's no friendliness. Right? I didn't go to Cyprus.
Even in a
I didn't go all the way to Cyprus and go, yes, let's get a half and half scarf because we're really good pals.
But I bet
I want to fucking win.
But I bet you drank with the locals and had a really nice time with them and made friends.
So why we all went out with the Hibs fans after
I'm not going to lie. I drank with Scotland fans. I drank with guys in the Tartan Army because we kind of took over the place.
I think it's like the Tartan Army collecting badges and things for the games they go to. It's just a kind of like that collecting.
I do agree. It does wind me up. It's not. It doesn't happen.
Let's get a half and half Celtic Rangers scarf.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh my god,
no!
But imagine we Steve with a half and half. That he wouldn't get one.
I don't mind it for the likes. You maybe a novelty game or a high profile game with teams that will not really regularly play each other. I saw one at the weekend there. I think it was maybe last weekend. Coventry versus Birmingham, and Coventry who
playing at Birmingham just now.
were the hosts, and they were playing at Birmingham Stadium. So Birmingham were the away team at St Andrews. So I think novelty games like that's maybe good.
Decent piece of memorabilia, isn't it?
But the likes of I do agree with you to an extent. The likes of maybe today's game, Liverpool Man United.
Yeah, that's
that
wrong.
would be a disgrace.
Yeah, that would be. But I would go. But I would be.
It's a disease. It's a disease. It's a disease.
You,
there needs to be a vaccine for it. Right.
I think you're going a bit over the
NHS, there needs to be a vaccine made for folk who buy half and half scarves. See all the folk outside grounds who are saying, get your half and half scarf. Honest to God, there's a reason you've still got all your half and half scarves, because normal people will not buy them. Folk like Bruni, when he's 5 or 6 year old, thinks it's a great idea, right? But it's not. You don't look good. It looks terrible.
Ewan,
rid the world.
Stop shouting.
Rid the world.
Stop shouting,
It's
Ewan.
not big and it's not clever.
It's not clever, Ewan. To read this.
Because the reason I'm so passionate about it, guys, is because it does my fox in.
That's a good way to end that, Ewan. Callum, what does your fox in this week?
Right, well, I saw things during the week.
Wait for his 4,000.
Yeah, here we go.
This was on Twitter, I believe. Gary Lineker was, obviously, this is not much to do with Scottish football, but it does apply to Scottish football. He was trying to, make the comment that we should kind of abolish cup replays. I personally think replays are a brilliant thing. Well, brilliant's probably a strong word, but you've got the likes of maybe BSC Glasgow in the cup. Perhaps they get a big team, maybe not Celtic or Rangers, but an Aberdeen, Hearts, Hibs, teams like that. They get them at home. They draw in the 90 minutes. They're all absolutely knackered. And then if this team was taken to extra time, I think they get picked apart in extra time. Obviously, they do well to get there, but drawing the game, that gives them an away tie. At Tynecastle, Easter Road, Aberdeen, 10,000, 15,000 fans perhaps, and the income for a club like that would be astronomical. I think it would be fantastic for them.
I always love how passionate you are about your foxes.
I get what you're saying, Callum, but I'm going to disagree with you.
That's a shocker, Andrew.
I personally think that replays are a nonsense. There's no point. It's a cup tie.
Thinks half and half scarves, alright.
It's a cup tie. A cup tie should, for me, be a one-off tie, and if you do get into extra time, then it's
the League Cup's a one-off tie.
It's all, yes, there you go. So what's the difference? I don't see what the difference is.
I agree. I'd keep cup replays. I think it's part of the magic of the Scottish Cup and like the FA Cup down south. You get a replay. For example, a lower league side goes to, just as an example, goes to Old Trafford and manages to get a replay, but then they get them back at their place under the lights and all that sort of stuff. It's part of the magic of the cup, and I think it takes away from that.
You're saying they're knackered after 90 minutes. You're saying they're knackered after 90 minutes, but what happens if they win in extra time and then get Celtic away in the next round, or they qualify, they're getting more prize money, or they win it on penalties? What's the chances that they take it to a replay and get beat 6-0? Yeah, they've made a bit of money, but they could have made that same money by winning that game in extra time. It's or penalties.
Rochdale a couple of seasons back got Spurs at home and drew. They got a last minute equaliser and then they got a replay at Wembley. That's amazing, right?
Players are getting the chance to play at stadiums they'd never play at.
Think about that for a club as well, like the financial aspect of that.
Yeah, I agree.
You're meant to be arguing against it. So
but you know what?
Win.
I'm being fair.
I've just won it over.
I'm not being like you. I would keep cup replays. I agree with.
Andy's just trying to sabotage me, folks.
The difference is I don't see this as the making of my week.
Here we go.
Here
we go. Didn't take long before we started.
My week.
Please vote for me.
Here we go. Anyway, as you two giggle away in the background, a couple of wee school wins. What does my fox in this week? And this is kind of going back to the Raith Rovers game, so I thought it was a good time to bring it up. Teams playing in changed kits when the kits don't even clash.
Who cares next?
They did clash though.
How did they clash?
Because
yellow and blue doesn't clash. Amber and blue doesn't clash.
Andrew.
And here we go about the goalkeeper stop. We are the home team. We are the home team. Yep. Why should we change because they've made an arse of it? They should be bringing 2 kits for goalkeepers to the away games.
Maybe both their goalie strips clash.
Maybe their away strip would do your fox in, mate. So you've got to be a bit more specific there.
What?
Maybe you know, you're moaning about our home kit, wearing our home kit. What if they wear their away kit?
We
wear their home kit away. Who cares?
It's annoying.
We were wearing.
Does that affect
I
the
don't know why
result?
you're moaning. We were wearing our home kit yesterday.
It just didn't look right, us playing at home in white when there was no need when we were playing a team playing
But there
in
was a
blue.
need because our black home goalie kit would clash with their navy kit.
Yep.
But then that's not up to us to make that option. That's up to the
But that
away
would have
team
been,
to make
that would
sure
have been the
that.
officials as
Yeah,
well.
but it's up to the away team who is travelling
How do you know
to
that-
the home side.
How do you know that? I'm pretty sure their away kit's yellow.
There you
Right.
go.
So why? I'm not arguing that they could have.
Well, we both playing in
I'm
our
not
away kits,
arguing
then.
that they could play in their home kit. I'm arguing why are we playing in our away kit when amber doesn't clash with blue?
Because maybe
Because of the goalie kits.
I'm not asking
the
them.
permutations of their kits meant that we can't play in our home kit. Because if
I'm
we play in
not-
our home kit and they play in our away kit,
But I'm not
They're both-
asking them
they're
to
both
play
the
in their
same.
away kit.
Well, you
They can.
did.
No, I'm not.
yeah, you did.
No, I'm not.
You said, well, what did you say?
You're
then?
talking nonsense, Callum.
We
I'm
we
played
struggling.
in our away kit yesterday when we could have played in our home kit against Raith Rovers who play in blue. I'm not asking Raith Rovers to come and play in their away kit because they're away from home.
Yeah, but
they
it's
can
clash.
play in blue.
Andrew,
You
if you
just
want
said it's clash.
if you want to start living in denial, the reason it was done was because the goalie kits clash.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
which is
saying,
quite
though.
a common thing.
That's what I'm saying. Teams know what the home team's colours
So
are.
what?
And
So
goals
did Raith
and on
Rovers
the
have to
park.
make a special goalie kit
Well,
for the game
it doesn't-
yesterday in order to not
do you
clash?
know what
Or-
goalkeeper colours that Raith Rovers play in like?
Well, they obviously must have clashed because that's why.
But how
we played
do you
in our
know?
white
How do
kit.
you know that's the reason?
Well, it's the most logical one.
Yeah, but it's the most logical, but we don't know, do we?
No, I'm
You're
just-
just kind of making that as if that's what's happened, but we don't know that's what's happened.
Well, you don't know either, do you?
No, we don't. I don't. But it's just
So
it does my
why-
fox in that we played in white instead of yellow when we didn't clash with the blue Raith Rovers.
So did it do your fox in when at Kilmarnock we played in white?
Yeah, it did actually, because there was no need, because we could have played in amber and they played in blue, and there's no problem.
Yeah, but the goalie shirts might have clashed.
But then we
But then that we wear a different goalie shirt.
Then we wear our home kit away. Does that not do?
We can't wear a different goalie shirt though, because our away goalie shirt's yellow. So we can't have all 11 players.
I feel like I'm getting crowd. You fucking let Callum Brown away with it.
I actually agree with this one. I think you're one stupid.
we sat here before we recorded, and you're like, yeah, see.
I thought.
And then we start recording, and
No.
you hound me.
I said yesterday at the game it's probably because of the goalie kit.
Yeah, but
I said
it's
that to you at the game before you'd even picked this.
I thought we'd have won 5-1 yesterday if we'd have played in a home kit. I mean, it doesn't affect the result, does it? Who cares?
This is a travesty. I'm going to stop this feature because I feel like bullying is going on Twitter.
You're going to stop this feature. I think you'll find there's 3 of us that do the
On
podcast.
Twitter as well, you're starting to hound me on Twitter and you're getting people
Motion
on my
denied.
back. Motion denied. We'll see. People might vote for me, you never know. If they didn't listen
Why
to
are
this,
you
they just vote.
raging? You started the whole thing by cheating. So,
Oh god. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Ewan, what's your option this week?
half and half scarves.
Callum?
Keeping cup replays. I would like abolishing cup replays. I would not like. There we go.
So what does your fox on is abolishing cup replays?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Glad we got to that.
And mine's is change kits when there's no need, despite the arguments.
Bit of a dull ending there.
Polls will go up on Tuesday as always. Get your vote in, and may the best man win this week.
Two games to chat about this week as we return to league action, looking to continue our good run of form prior to the winter break. First up, we welcome St Johnstone to Tony Macaroni Arena. Big game this, isn't it?
Yep, big game, especially at home under the lights. Our home form's been pretty good recently. I think we've had 4 clean sheets out the last 4 in the league. Obviously, we've lost Sarkic, as we touched on earlier, but I don't think we've got anything to fear with St Johnstone coming. They've been in good form themselves recently.
Yeah, they picked up a bit before the break, didn't they? And
They've won their last 2 away games as well. So they have picked up a bit.
I think a lot of that's actually, I've been doing a wee bit of research, a lot of that's down to Liam Gordon coming back into the defence. Obviously they had a big hole to fill with Joe Shaughnessy leaving in the summer. Jason Kerr was given the captain's armband and they'd been playing Wallace Duffy at centre half. They lost 4-0 to Motherwell with Duffy in the side. Gordon's been out injured actually. Since that game they've kept 5 clean sheets at the last 6. and they've conceded 1 goal.
It's quite similar to when they first came to us
Unbeaten as
last
well.
season, and they'd started picking up this run of form where they were getting a lot of 1-0s.
Yep.
And
Well,
they
that's
came
what it
to
is.
us, they scored kind of in the first 10 minutes and camped in for the rest of the game, and we really struggled to break them down. So it's got the kind of makings of that about it.
I was literally just going to say that, was the game against Raith Rovers a sort of good test before this game, because you can see it kind of going a similar pattern along the lines of St Johnstone trying to possibly sit in and hit us on the break, grab a goal and then just keep it tight. So do you see that as a good sort of
Maybe
warm-up game for us there?
Quite possibly. I think they'll see it as a good opportunity for 3 points themselves, to kind of pull further away from the lower end of the table. So
They came here and did a job on us last season.
done a job on us last season. Then the second game at Livi, beat them 3-1, and I thought we were pretty good that day, but they had chances to kind of level it very late on until we pits wrapped up to make it 3. But all the games between us and St Johnstone, there's not been a lot in them. Two quite closely matched teams. I think we let them off the hook at the start of the season, big style, when we were 2 up half time, and then had a penalty as well late on.
Folk sort of going about our away form that St Johnstone's isn't brilliant. They've conceded 18 goals in 9 away games. I think that's one of the highest. I think that's one of the highest in the league. So they're obvious. I know what you're saying. Liam Gordon's came back in, so that might improve going forward. But it's certainly a team that can be got at.
They don't score a lot away from home either.
Yeah, I was just going to say
That's
that
been one of the biggest problems all
under a
season.
goal a game away from home. They're sort of looking at. So
I think that's been a problem home and away for them really this season, is goals. They've really struggled with. They obviously brought in Stevie May in the summer. He's not had the desired impact really that they would have looked for. Kennedy is obviously just signed a pre-contract with Aberdeen, but Aberdeen are looking at trying to get that done in January.
Yeah.
So
he didn't feature at the weekend, did he, in the cup? Didn't feature at all.
Don't believe so.
So you know, you don't know how his mindset is, but he's certainly a player I've rated very highly.
I think
I've seen St
Aberdeen
Johnstone.
are trying to get him this month.
I mean, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Sorry, I never heard you.
You should maybe listen to the conversation.
Excluding the 3-0 win, obviously at the weekend there for them against Morton in the cup. You know, they've had the last 5 games 0-0, 0-1, 0-0, 0-1, 1-1.
Yeah.
That's
so there's
really they're grinding down teams, and you know they could potentially be sitting back, and
it could be one of these 1-goal wins at games, because our home defensive record, we've conceded 5 at home.
Don't think it'll be one for the.
One of them was a penalty against Aberdeen that was outside the box, so that's obviously to be. I know we count that officially, but you're like, we've conceded 5 goals, but would that have came about if it wasn't a penalty? So we've been really solid at home.
I don't think we'll see Guardiola there taking notes on the football, but you know, it'll be a tight game. I don't see much separating the sides, as we've already mentioned.
Yeah, I think this one's again similar to a lot of the games last season. There was 1-0 at our place, 1-0 at their place. We had the 3-1 obviously, which was a bit unexpected, and then we had 1 each at their place.
Yeah.
So
Halkett Thunderbolt.
Yeah, rocket from 40,000 yards.
I mean, it's quite amazing looking at the league table. We're sitting 5th, but we're only 5 points clear of St Johnstone, and they've actually got 2 games in hand. So when you say it's a big game,
I think it's Celtic and Rangers though.
I know, but
yeah,
I know, but it's still a big game. 5 points. If they beat us, that's down to 2, and then they're starting. Yeah, exact. Thank you. So there's, like you say, there's not a lot between the teams, so it's a really big win. If we can get a win, that improves the gap between ourselves and them, and at the end of the day, we continue to talk about it week in, week out. The end goal is to stay in the league. Anything better than that is amazing, but
win the next 2 games, I think we're staying up.
Yeah.
I've been saying over the winter break, and I've said at the start of the season, I think 10 wins and then you pick up your points elsewhere. If we were to get 4 more wins between now and the split, there's 11 games before the split.
Yeah.
And I think our fixtures between now and middle of February, end of February,
they're good.
Are quite a good set of fixtures, a bit like we had in December. I think if we can carry on our form from December and push on the next couple of months, I think we could go into the split in the position we were last year, which was you can start kind of looking a bit further forward and towards next season.
You mentioned the fixtures, St Johnstone, Hamilton, as we know, and then Motherwell at home, Ross County away, St Mirren at home. So there's 5 games. how many points do we think then we can grab out of the 5 games? Can I put you on the spot there, because that wasn't on the script, sorry.
7 or 8 I'd take, definitely.
9.
Yeah, you look to win your home games, don't you? So St Johnstone, Motherwell, St Mirren, not the home games.
Motherwell difficult though.
It is difficult, but then we've not got the best of records against Hamilton. We'll come on to that, and obviously we've had a good win against
Motherwell's a difficult game, but
I mean they're all 5 are winnable.
The 2 games we've played against Motherwell this season, I genuinely haven't seen what
I agree.
the hype's about with them. I think we should have beat them on the opening day. The game there, I think we were really unlucky to come away with nothing. Minimum we should have got was a point from that game, so I don't think at home especially there's nothing to fear from them.
So before we move on, let's hear our predictions then. Callum, you're still sitting on top of our little league, so what do you think going into this one?
I mean, we mentioned there about St Johnstone not conceding many recently, us not. I mean, we've been scoring for fun, but I mean they haven't. So I think 1-0 Livingston. I can see us nicking it. I think there'll be 1 goal in it either way, but I'm going to be positive and go 1-0.
That's annoying. I was going to pick 1-0 as well.
You went with each other against Raith as well, didn't you?
I'm going to stick with what I was thinking. 1-0. I think it's going to be a tight, scrappy affair.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot between the teams, like we say. I think we'll keep up our record. I think it's 6 games in a row we've scored 2 or more goals, possibly off the top of my head. So I'm going to stick with that and keep that run going. I think 2-0 Livingston. So we're all predicting a win. So fingers crossed we can get that. It'll be a big boost, and we'll obviously see you on Wednesday at that game.
Finally this week we look ahead to our trip to Hamilton as we take on what you could class as our bogey team. 2 massive games in a row coming up. So how do we see this one going?
I think it's another one similar to what we were talking about with St Johnstone game, which I think it's just going to be quite a scrappy affair. To be fair to Hamilton, they've picked up again, bit like St Johnstone. Started putting a few wins on the board before the break, and we're only 7 points ahead of them.
Yeah.
So they get a win, they start closing that gap again. It's great that we're sitting 5th in the league, but there's that kind of niggling doubt in my mind where you've got that gap's just not quite as big as I would like it to be. So
it's almost like the mirror image of what we just spoke about with St Johnstone.
I think it's a very similar game, and they had a good win in the cup, scoring a few goals and whatnot. So I think it's going to be another kind of 1 goal wins it, scrappy affair.
Well, again, we're notorious. I think every time Hamilton comes round, we speak about us having a notoriously poor record at Hamilton.
What was it, 2012?
2012, 16 games ago.
Wow.
We've played Hamilton 16 times since we last beat them at Hamilton. Obviously that's home and away, but 16 times since we've played them. We've no beat them away from home. So it's quite a horrendous record. Because that's one game that we'll all look at and go, that's one we should be.
Do you think we should tweak our style a little bit when we play Hamilton? Instead of being the team that was expected to kind of take the onus and whatnot, should almost try and sucker them into our game plan, which is, almost invite them onto us a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you know, as something that I've thought about going into this game is we need to change something because it's clearly not working. That's 4 points they've taken off us this season, and we've not really changed the way we've played against them.
They did a job on us in the 0-0 game. They basically did what we do to the likes of Rangers and Celtic.
Yeah.
When we've won these games, they've just sat in and they've just broken up the play, and they've not really looked to score, to be honest. But that was a good point for them. And again, there's been several frustrating games over the last couple of seasons, especially away from home. We lost to the 10 men in the 1-0 game.
Yep.
We were 1-0 up again
earlier in the season.
Earlier
this season.
The game we were 2 down, went 3-2 up.
Yeah.
Conceded a last minute goal. So there's been a lot of kind of frustrating games away at Hamilton, where I think we should again have taken minimum a point.
Yeah.
But we've kind of got hit with that sucker punch. And I mind Gary talking about that 0-0 game you were mentioning. He was kind of in that caught in 2 minds whether to really go for the game, and I think he had it in the back of his mind a couple of the games against Hamilton where we've decided, we'll go for the winner, and we've got hit, and then we've taken nothing from the game.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those games that's it's a fine balancing act what you do with it. But I think we should maybe try and invite them onto us a little bit more.
Yeah.
And try and open them up a bit.
I think, as you mentioned, they're in a decent run of form. They've actually won 3 of the last 4.
Just hammered Edinburgh.
Obviously, Edinburgh, you'd expect them to win, but obviously that was a banana cup tie, but they've won it well. And then they beat Motherwell, which was a great result before the break.
Away from home,
and then they beat Hearts, didn't they?
Shock,
So they are in a decent run of form. So it's not going to be easy. They've obviously signed Andy Dales. He was at Dundee, and he's made a goal scoring debut against Edinburgh at the weekend. So I'm not really sure what to expect for them this time round. They'll be a bit more confident, and the Dales adds a wee bit of a more flair to their side. So that might sort of draw into the let them come on to us and we hit them on the break sort of thing.
It's always difficult as well previewing the game. We've got St Johnstone on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't pick up any injuries, touch wood. So
I was just going to come on to sort of team lineup. We never really covered it in the St Johnstone game. We started obviously with Brown at centre back. You asked the question about Lammy. I felt McMillan was a bit unfortunate to drop out. Was that maybe just a resting him ahead of the league games? Do you think McMillan will come back and play in these league games?
I think Brown's obviously, we mentioned, hasn't played much. That's probably his first 90 minutes, I think, since September, August.
Yeah.
So I could see Lammy coming back into centre half and McMillan playing left back, because obviously Saturday to Wednesdays you've not got much time to recover, especially if you haven't played in that long. But I wouldn't change much. We obviously touched on Ross Stewart as well, potentially coming in goals. Yeah. But I mean, I'd still go the 4-2-3-1. We kind of changed our shape a wee bit against Hibs, but no, I'd still go with that formation and that that team that
I would go back to McMillan at left back, because played the Hibs game, didn't he? And for Taylor Sinclair, and I thought he kept arguably Hibs' biggest threat in Boyle.
Yeah, quite
quiet the whole game, and I think Jack's just really consistent.
Yeah,
I think he's really let the side down, and I think every time he gets dropped out of the side after he's came in and done a job, I always feel kind of sorry for him a little bit, because as I say, he's been very consistent and really let the team down. So I'd like to see him come back in, and personally I'd put Lammy back in and at centre. I'd try and stick with the back four that had been doing well in December. But I can see why he's decided to give Brown 90 minutes in the cup tie and whatnot.
It's weird this season as well. Obviously last season we had the three of Gallagher, Halkett and Lithgow, and we were like, maybe sometimes we were kind of crying out for a left-footed centre half. And now we've got the Brown, Guthrie, Lammy.
All left-footed. So I know you mentioned it's difficult with a game midweek, but we're going to try and sort of predict this one as well on this episode. So going into it, we'll start with you now. Hamilton predictions.
I'll try and be positive. I hate trying to predict a game at Hamilton, I really do. I'll try and be positive, and I'll go for 1-0 Livi.
I'll jump in this time. I'll let you go last. I'm never confident going to Hamilton, just for the reasons we've explained. I wouldn't go as far as we'll lose, but I don't think there's much in the teams. I'm going to go 1-1. I think it'll be another frustrating afternoon. Callum?
It's a tough one again. I think it'll be much more open than the St Johnstone game. There'll be a few more goals. I think we'll win 3-1.
3-1.
I think it'll be tight.
Tight? 3-1?
No, I think we'll be leading 2-1. They'll be coming into it, and I think we'll hit them on the break and finally do what they've done to us a few times and put us to the sword.
I speak on behalf of all Livi fans, but I hope you're right.
Yeah. I'll take my 1-0.
Absolutely. I'll take that as well. I hope I'm totally wrong.
Absolutely, but I just think with the goals we scored this season, and if we play as well as we have done in some of the games, then I don't see them being a match for us.
Fair enough. But we'll see you at Hamilton on Saturday, obviously with St Johnstone first, but hopefully we pick up a couple of positive results. That's it for another episode of TalkLivi, a jam-packed episode to start the year with. Thanks to everybody who continues to listen and support the podcast.
You can find TalkLivi on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter by just searching for TalkLivi. Hit like and follow to keep up to date with everything that we're doing. You can also find this episode and all of our other episodes on all good podcast streaming sites, with the likes of iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud and many more available.
All our episodes are also on our website, talklivipodcast.libsyn.com. Don't forget we're also on YouTube. You can find us by searching TalkLivi. If you could hit the subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment as well, or a review on iTunes. All feedback is always taken on board.
So that's it for another week. From you and Callum and myself, thanks again, and we'll see you on Wednesday.